for you to practice. All right, class example. So we're going to do, I think, four together. And then you guys are going to do your practice problems for this lesson. So what we're going to do is we're going to determine the GCF, factor out each expression, and then show that it's equivalent to the original. So the expanded form is the original, 2x squared plus 4. So what is the GCF of this binomial? So what I like to do is what I've done on the first page, and as I like to write out the factors of each term. So we have 2x squared. So the factors of 2 are 1 and 2, and x squared consists of 2 x's. And the factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. So what is the greatest common factor? Well, 2 is the highest number that goes into both, and the 4 doesn't contain any x's, so we can't factor out an x. So our GCF would just be 2. So in order to factor, we are going to divide our term by the GCF. So we have 2x squared plus 4, and we're dividing by 2. So we're going to put that 2 on the outside of the parentheses, which is our GCF. And let's put on the inside what we get once we divide. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we're just left with 1x squared. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. So this would be our factored form. Okay? So in order to check to make sure we did it properly, we just distribute to check. So let's take our factored form, distribute. So 2 times x squared is 2x squared, and 2 times 4 is 4, which is our original. So we are good here. Okay, let's do number 2. So they're getting a little bit harder as we go along. So again, feel free to pause and rewatch if you need. So B, we have 2x squared plus 4x is our expanded form. So I'm just going to rewrite that here. So let's determine the GCF. So I'm going to write out both terms. So greatest common factor. So factors of 2 are 1 and 2. And when you have x to the second power, you have x times x. So we have 2 x's involved here. Now let's look at the 4x. Notice both of them have a variable, so it's going to be a little different. So factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. And we just have 1x here. Okay, x to the first. So that's just 1x. So let's determine what the GCF is. So here, 2 is our highest numerical value. And how many x's can we factor out of both? So they both contain at least one x. So we can take out 1x here. So our GCF is 2x. So in order to find the factored form, again, we divide. So by the GCF. So we have the 2x squared plus 4. And we know our GCF is 2x. I'm going to put that on the outside of the parentheses because that's what we're factoring out. And we're dividing by 2x. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, which you don't really need to put. X squared divided by x to the first is just x to the first. So that would just be 1x. And 4x divided by 2x would just be 2. So our factored form is 2x times, you don't need to write the 1 in front of the x plus 2. So this is our factored form. And let's distribute to see if we get our original expanded form. Because remember, they're equivalent. So here, let's distribute. 2x times x is 2x squared. And 2x times 2 is positive 4x, which is our original expanded form. So remember to factor form. First thing is you want to divide by the GCF. And second, you write the GCF on the outside of the parentheses when you divide. Okay. All right. So here, we have a trinomial. We have three terms. So the expanded form is 10y squared plus 15y minus 25. So the GCF. So now we have three terms to go through. So we have 10y squared. So 10 has 1, 2, 5, and 10. And we have y to the second, so that's 2 y's we're looking at. 15y. We have 1, 3, 5, 15, and only 1 y. And for 25, we have 1, 5, and 25. So what is the GCF here? So let's look at the numbers first. So the highest number that I see here that goes into all is 5. And not all of these terms contain a y as a variable. So therefore, we cannot factor out a y. So our GCF is just going to be 5. So that means we're going to take our expanded form, we know our GCF is 5. I'm going to put that out here with the parentheses. And we're dividing everything by 5. All right. So 10y squared divided by 5 is 2y squared. 15y squared divided by 5 is 3y squared. And negative 25 divided by 5 is negative 5. So this is our factored form. And of course, just like we did before, we would have to distribute to check. Okay. So we have here, we're just going to take the 5 and multiply out. And you should see it gives us our original expanded form. So 5 times 2y squared is 10y squared. 5 times 3y is 15y squared. And 5 times negative 5 is negative 25. All right, one more together, and then we are finished for this lesson. Our expanded form is already given to us. The GCF, so we're going to write out the factors of both. If you don't need to do this part, you don't have to. This is just, if you need to write it down in order to determine, if you can't do it in your head, to write it down physically is just easier. This way, you don't make any mistakes or anything like that. So let's see. So 4. So we have 1, 2, 4, and x squared contains x times x. Here we have 16. So we have 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. And x to the third contains 3 x's. So let's see. So the highest number that goes into both is 4. And how many x's can we factor? So this one has 2 and this one has 3. So that means the most we can take out is just 2 x's. So that means that we could take out an x squared. So our GCF is 4x squared. So we're going to take our expanded form, squared plus 16x to the third, and we're going to divide by our GCF in order to factor. I'm going to put my GCF on the outside the parentheses, showing that I divided it out. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and x squared divided by x squared is 1. So we're just left with 1 here. Because anything divided by itself is 1. Next, we have 16 divided by 4 is 4. X to the third divided by x squared, you just subtract. 3 minus 2 is 1, and you're just left with 4x. So now, this is our factored form. Okay? So I'm going to rewrite our factored form. Let's check if we get back to our original. So let's distribute. So we have 4x squared times 1 is 4x squared. And 4x squared times 4x would give us the 16x to the third power. You just add the 2 and the 1 here for the exponent. And that is it for lesson 3. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And there's just one more lesson for the week. And if you have any trouble, please email me or comment on our discussion board, and have a great day.